Welcome to Japan. From ancient sites, neon lights, futuristic architecture, and peaceful gardens, there's just so much to explore here. Hi, I'm Charisse. I'm your Japan destination expert. In this video, I'll show you exactly what to expect when visiting Japan, and I'll share my 5 favorite ways that I fully immersed myself in Japanese culture during my 2-week journey through Tokyo, Hakone, Kyoto, and Osaka. So come join me for the ride. My first way is my favorite: food, food, and more food. There's lots of ways to explore the food scene in Japan, but my favorite way is going on food tours. Like this ramen tour, where our knowledgeable local guide taught us all about the history of ramen, where it comes from, and what makes each bowl unique. Here you can see that we ate all different types of noodles and broths and toppings. It was so delicious, and I would highly recommend it for anyone who is new to ramen or is just a ramen lover in general. I love going on food tours because you get to see different parts of the city too. Here, our guide took us through the Shibuya Scramble Crossing because it was on our way from the first restaurant to the second restaurant. And then she took us down some cool streets with delicious restaurants that are frequented by locals that I went back to several times during my trip. Having that local knowledge was awesome. Of course, no trip to Tokyo is complete without sampling the freshest flavors at the Tsukiji fish market. From sizzling street food to the freshest sushi I've tasted, this place is a paradise for food lovers. Let me show you some of my favorite things. This strawberry daifuku, this wagyu beef skewer with uni on top of it, this fresh squeezed grapefruit juice, and my favorite plate of 5 different types of uni from a famous uni restaurant there with some fresh sushi. It was so delicious, I would highly recommend for anyone who wants an authentic experience in Tokyo. No foodie experience would be complete without going to Osaka, Japan's food capital. This city is famous for its street food, bold flavors, and lively atmosphere, so I joined a food tour to taste it all. We met up with our local guide, who showed us around to 3 different local spots where we cheers the night away at each one and learned about all the different types of drinks in Japan. First up, we tried one of Osaka's most beloved dishes, okonomiyaki, or a savory pancake. We watched it cooked right on the hot griddle, and the flavor was a perfect mix of crispy, smoky, and comforting. It's a must-try when you're here. Next, our guide taught us all about the different types of meats and flavors, and we cooked them over a grill together. And then at the very end, we ended the night at this really yummy tempura wine bar, where we tried so much delicious food fried in tempura batter. This is all definitely a must when you go to Osaka. Something I loved about this experience was that it was completely off the beaten tourist track, and we only went to spots that were frequented by locals, which made us feel really special. Now, eating isn't the only way to immerse yourself in the culture. Where you stay is important too. No trip to Japan is complete without going to a traditional area and staying in what's called a traditional ryokan stay. It's a uniquely Japanese experience, offering a glimpse into the country's rich culture and hospitality. You'll sleep on cozy futons laid out on tatami mats and soak in your soothing onsen hot springs bath. You'll get so many amenities, like yukatas for sleeping, unlimited snacks and drinks, and so much more. And my favorite part, the multi-course kaiseki breakfast and dinner. This was so yummy and so delicious, I could have stayed here the entire time. For anyone trying to truly immerse themselves in Japanese culture, I would highly recommend this experience. Now, my third favorite way to really immerse myself in the Japanese culture is through interactive experiences. Let me show you a few of my favorite things that I did. First up, we have a traditional tea ceremony, taking place in a machaya house, otherwise known as a Japanese townhouse. We learned all about the different tools being used in a tea ceremony, why tea is so important to Japanese culture, and we even got a chance to make our own matcha tea using the swift movements that our instructor taught us. We even got to enjoy it with a little tea sweet too. As you can see, we're all wearing kimonos for a more traditional experience. The teachers helped us with our hair, accessories, and clothes to make this a truly special experience for all of us. Our next hands-on experience is a little bit more exciting. Here we have samurai sword wielding. Here we got to try out some traditional samurai clothing, and we even got to try out some of the first beginner steps under the guidance of our samurai masters. Here you can see that we're using a dummy sword to make sure that no one gets hurt while we practice. And at the end, we put everything that we learned together for a really fun and exciting challenge with our samurai masters that taught us everything that we know. This was such a fun experience that anyone can do. Lastly, for something slower, I tried out a calligraphy class with my helpful teacher, where we practiced and learned about the different characters in the Japanese writing, and learned all about the different sounds and meanings as well. Here you can see my progression of making sure that I'm improving with my practice. My final step was to spell my name, so I spelled my name and my nickname, Cherry. Now we're on to my fourth way of experiencing Japanese culture, shows and museums. There's lots of different shows and interactive art museums you can go to. One of my favorites that I went to was this sumo show with lunch. We ate a traditional meal that sumo wrestlers would typically eat, learned all about sumo history, and we even got to watch them warm up and practice some sumo moves. This was all leading up to the main event, watching them wrestle it out on the sumo ring. The sumo wrestlers were also super interactive with the audience, which was really surprising for me. And they even took questions from the audience so that we can learn all about the sumo experience. I highly recommend this experience to anyone visiting Japan. Next, we visited Team Lab Planet's Tokyo, an immersive digital art museum unlike anything I've ever experienced. Here, you walk barefoot through water, interact with massive moving light installations, and you feel like you're stepping inside living pieces of art. Each room is designed to awaken your senses, from floating flowers, infinite mirrored spaces. It's really one of the most surreal and unforgettable stops in Tokyo. Now, we're on to my last way to fully immerse ourselves in the Japanese culture, and that's doing a highlights tour of each city with a local, knowledgeable guide. First, we did a highlights tour of Tokyo for a full day. We saw sites like this in Soji Temple, and we learned how to enter the temple in a respectful way by purifying ourselves. And we did some things like telling our fortune for 100 yen. You can see me here shaking the box to get my fortune. I did get a good one, and you can read it in English and Japanese too. Next, we went down Nakamichi Street. It's a really traditional street where you can buy snacks and souvenirs. We had so much fun exploring this street and seeing the different things to buy and even trying out a few sweet treats ourselves. Then we headed on this boat, where we saw some of the beautiful architecture that Tokyo is known for throughout the city. The boat led us to this traditional garden where we went to a tea house and enjoyed some tea and sweets. Lastly, we ended the highlights tour in Omotasando Street. It's a luxury shopping fashion district known for its modern architecture, trendy cafes, and artistic vibes. So we got a beautiful overview of Tokyo and what it has to offer through this full-day highlights tour. Now let's move on to Hakone. We took the romance car here from Shinjuku to Hakone and explored the entire town, all with the help of our local guide and our Hakone 2-day free pass. This pass gives you unlimited public transportation access in Hakone so that you can use all of the different trains and buses, all of the different ropeways, and even the famous pirate ship where you can see Mount Fuji sometimes. We also took a stop at Owakudani, where we tried the famous sulfur eggs. I thought they were really yummy. We took a ropeway here, and we even got a glimpse of Mount Fuji, a small glimpse. After the ropeway, we headed out on the pirate ship where we saw beautiful panoramic views of Hakone National Park. Lake Ashi was great to see from the boat, and we saw lush green hills everywhere. We even saw the Hakone Shrine in the distance. We explored Hakone National Park for a bit and enjoyed all of the nature. Then we rode a few more ropeways to soak it all in, then ended up exploring the little town and all of its little shops. One shop we really enjoyed was this traditional craft store where we saw a demonstration of how to open the secret boxes. Now that we've finished up with Kyoto, let's take the bullet train, and our next stop is Kyoto, known as Japan's cultural heart. Our first stop was the Golden Temple, a Zen temple in Kyoto covered in gold leaf, reflecting beautifully in the surrounding pond and garden areas. Next, we went to the Nijo Castle. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its ornate architecture, beautiful gardens, and nightingale floors that actually chirp as you walk to guard against intruders. Then we got a little hungry, so we went to the Nishiki Market, otherwise known as Kyoto's Kitchen. It's a lively, narrow shopping street filled with stalls of seafood, local produce, sweets, traditional Japanese food, and much more, like souvenirs too. Lastly, we headed to Arashiyama on the outskirts of Kyoto. Known for its natural beauty and cultural charm, this is where the Bamboo Grove is, one of the most popular attractions here. It's lined with towering bamboo stalks that sway gently in the wind, which creates a peaceful atmosphere. Our guide even showed us the quietest areas to take photos too. So now we head to our last stop on our green class bullet train to Osaka. We were even lucky enough to see this air show while we were there. While we were here, we visited Osaka's most historic landmark, the Osaka Castle. It's surrounded by a big moat and lush parkland known for its striking architecture. We got to go all throughout the castle and learn about the history behind the making of the castle too. Then we made our way to the top floor where we saw stunning panoramic views of Osaka City. After the castle, our guide took us to Dotonbori. Dotonbori is Osaka's lively entertainment district, known for its neon lights, giant billboards, and endless street food stalls, serving local favorites. Our guide even taught us about some of the more famous signs, like the Glicko Running Man sign. At the end of the tour, we got an Osaka classic, takoyaki, or fried octopus dumplings. They were really good. I hope you enjoyed my little adventure, and as you can see, there's something for everyone in Japan. I hope you learned something new, and I hope this sparks a little bit more wanderlust in you. Until we meet again, once again, my name is Charisse, and I'm your Japan destination expert. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye for now.